Hey everybody, it's Jim again, and I released a video a couple weeks ago about my real estate investment journey. I do a lot of buy and hold strategy, and one of the comments I received was from somebody saying interest rates are really high right now with the high sale prices and the rent's not quite catching up to that. How do you do a buy and hold strategy and cash flow positive still when buying rental properties? This is a really good question. I think about this all the time because that's basically what we're facing right now. Sale prices have gone up so much, and if you need to get a mortgage to buy an investment property, the rent that you're collecting is not going to cover all your costs, right? It might not even cover your mortgage payment, let alone property taxes, insurance, possible HOAs, and who knows, maybe some type of unforeseen maintenance or repair or anything like that too. So it is a tough place to be because traditionally in real estate, a goal that I've been going off of nearly 20 years now is the fact of you buy a house, you make it so that the tenant pays you the rent, and that's enough to cover your expenses, right? They're paying off your mortgage over time, you're getting all the appreciation. Well, right now with the high interest rates and high sale prices, that's not possible right now. So what do we do? I thought I'd put this video out today just to kind of give you some alternative options for that. And first and foremost, you want to focus on a property that's going to generate a high rent compared to the price it takes you to acquire it. Properties that kind of fit this criteria would be lower cost properties. Since it takes less money to buy the house, you're borrowing less money, so you're paying less interest on those. Not high-end areas, maybe go on more lower income areas. These places you might have a better cash flow. Or thinking about multifamily properties, maybe buying a fourplex or something like that where, you know, with the additional doors that gives you that kind of multiplier on your rental income might get you to that place where you're cash flowing positive. So an example of that is maybe look at emerging markets, right? Like maybe you don't buy in a really expensive area that's established. Maybe you find a up and coming growing area, right? Where the prices are still low, but the rents are comparable. And you know that long term that it will appreciate eventually, but you're getting in at a lower cost because it is a new and growing market, right? For us in the Las Vegas area, a lot of people have been asking about Pahrump, all right? That's just kind of just west of here. Las Vegas is probably less than an hour away right now, but that is a growing market. Average sale price of a single family home in Pahrump is like right around $300,000. You're not going to be able to find properties like that in Las Vegas anymore. But this is an emerging city here. It's growing, and you know, pretty soon we're just going to get more connected together. So maybe buying something in a place like that might be a good idea for you. Let's talk about short-term rentals. Las Vegas is a travel destination, so a lot of tourists are coming here. Would be an ideal place to have a short-term rental. That's definitely a possible solution for cash flowing positive. But just remember, short-term rentals are a little less passive. I mean, you have to be somewhat active in working these. Then we'll just go down the line a little bit in mid-term rentals. That's kind of growing in popularity right now, where it's like a furnished rental. You rent it out for maybe a little over 30 days, but less than 6 months, all right? You're getting higher rent for those because you're providing furniture now. That is another way of cash flowing positive as well too. If you take it another step, maybe you improve the house or your property. A lot of times people like to get a property and they're like, I don't want to do any repairs or remodeling on this house. That worked in the past, but right now, I think renters these days are willing to pay for high-end upgrades because they may not qualify to buy a house that's completely modern and upgraded. So maybe you have a house, you've owned it for a long time, and maybe you do some capital improvements to the property that makes it more high-end, which bumps your rent up a lot more and then helps you cash flow positive. Now that we're talking about making improvements to the property, other than just say upgrading a kitchen or something like that, what if you added an additional dwelling unit onto the property? Maybe you have a property, you can add a little casita or ADU in the back, and then you can rent that out for money too. That might increase your rents that you collect, which will help you cash flow positive. It actually gives you more units to rent out too. A strategy that I see a lot of people doing here near our university, UNLV, right? You have people renting out rooms, right? Because You might have like a 3-bedroom condo, which will only get you about $1,500 to $2,000. But what if you furnished it, provided all the utilities, Wi-Fi, and then you rent out the rooms by $1,000 each, right? So now you're making $3,000 a month on this rental, improving your cash flow. You can even get more creative too. I know there's apps out there now where you can rent out garages for storage for people. That can increase the cash flow you have every month. Some people are even renting out their backyard and pool space for events and parties and things like that. And right now, a really hot construction trend is these things called next-gen suites, right? It's kind of like a casita, but it's attached to the house. They usually have their own separate entrances. I know a lot of people like to buy these homes if they're moving in, you know, their parents, their kids or whatever. But if you don't have a need for that, you can actually rent out that additional unit, right? And that's more additional rent. Maybe you have someone live in the next-gen suite and you rent out the main house for more money even too. So this is another way to just increase your rents you collect every month to cash flow positive. Bottom line is you really need to cut your expenses, all right? So you want to find properties that are maybe low in property taxes, low to no HOAs, something special or unique you can charge a little more for the property. Just a little different strategy that we're talking about here. With interest rates being so high, why not be the bank? You're an investor and you own any properties free and clear, or you're able to purchase properties free and clear, why not be the bank and sell it as an owner carry thing? Because you're definitely going to be able to charge a lot more in interest than you would need to borrow it at, right? But let's just say you buy a property, all right, and rather than making 5% on a CD or money market or something like that, you do an owner carry on it and you can charge somebody 9 or 10% to carry the note for them. So now you're the bank, all right? So now you're benefiting from the high interest rates too. Well, thanks for leaving the comment, and it's a great question. And as an investor, that's what I think about a lot. So if you have other ideas or other comments about things like that, please drop me a comment below. And if you want to see a video about other topics, you know, let me know. I'd be glad to do it for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.